this is where we would look at that. How much copper flows through the middle portion of the aquifer versus the shallow? This is where we look at that. And this site model uses information from the pumping test. It's considered every investigation, every significant investigation conducted within or proximal to view party soils, and uses that data to make the best approximation of what is going on and how effective our current system is. So, you know, the pumping test is part of the CSM. Fingerprint analysis is part of the CSM. Bureau's coming out with their fingerprint report. ARCO is coming up with a parallel report that will be part of the CSM. There's many other things that are going on. We've got the fingerprinting evaluation. We've got ongoing monitoring of groundwater and surface water, which I'll show you here shortly. We've done investigations such as looking at infiltration barriers over repaired tailings and other identified waste sources. That was a ROD requirement. We've done a tracer study within the subdrain to look at how much loading is coming in along that remedy, along that capture remedy, and where the majority of that loading is coming in, and how we might optimize it. And to optimize it, we've conducted 3 phases of the MSD isolation test, where we've looked at systematically figuring out what would happen if we did not capture the lower approximately 1,000 feet of aquifer with that site gravity. Sarah mentioned the seep next to treatment lagoons. That should be taken care of this year. And, these are all specifically oriented to improve the overall capture efficiency of the infected groundwater. As Sarah said, these investigations are conducted in connection with the ongoing consent decree. And the goal of these investigations is the improvement of surface water quality in Silverboat Creek. So Trey alluded to several years of surface water quality. Here's an example of zinc in Silverboat Creek.
Explain the graph, explain the axis.
Thank you. Down on the bottom, starting back in January of 1993, we're ending in this year. This is total recoverable zinc in parts per billion. So back in 93, probably somewhere around 1,000 parts per billion on average, going up upwards of 2,000. First significant removal in the area was the LAO removal in the Missoula Gulch catch base. And as you can see, this took out a significant amount of loading right out of the creek.
These are quarterly stream water quality samples taken on a quarterly basis or a monthly basis. I'm not sure which one. Continuum all the way through.
Thank you.
Could you tell us where on the creek the samples are collected?
This is at SS7. So, let me go back.
It would also include the stuff that's coming from the city's wastewater treatment plant at SS07, as well as Silverboat Creek.
Good point, Trey. Thank you.
You want to go back?
I'm just gonna do a map here. SS7 is right here where the interstate crosses Silverboat Creek. Metro storm drain is way up here. Blackfoot Creek one is on the so this was the first removal effort, and quite a bit of impact in removing zinc. There's similar graphs for other metals. And then back in 2003, 2004, the Metro Storm Drain came online, and you can see subsequent reduction in zinc down to, this red line here is an approximate standard. So the zinc actually needs water quality more or less. So, this, our ultimate proving grounds for the whole system is the creek. Because all of this groundwater eventually reports to the creek. We've got capture at LAO, we've got capture at MSD. We're optimizing the systems as we go. And the ultimate answer of how well we're doing is right here, is how much metals are in the creek. So lends to the effectiveness of the current capture system. All right, so to go over these conclusions, I summarized the pumping test with the collaboration with MD. Summarize some of the additional assessments of the remedy or the MSD subdrain, and then went into describe how the MSD pumping test is a piece of the puzzle that's going into the conceptual site model, or that holistic view of soils. That conceptual site model, by the way, should be finalized by November 4, I believe. Our schedule is correct. It's definitely worth it.
Because if we get consensus amongst you groundwater hydrology.
So that's all I've got. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I'd like to take a minute here and go ahead and ask some questions since we have more data presented. So, Secretary, you have one?
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I could, perhaps I missed this, but when did you do this study when you were talking about the data you were presenting earlier, in which your results seem to be pretty much the same as what the Bureau of Mines have found in that area?
The pumping test?
Or the test that the data you were presenting, what period of time is that?
The pumping test was performed on
January.
February 3rd. Yeah. Of this year. We used, so Pioneer set up the well, the pump. Jordan transported pumped water over to lower area one to be treated. Trek collected quite a bit of groundwater data. Is that what your question was? I don't think I'm addressing.
I think Nick actually answered my question. I guess the question I have is that the information that was presented to us earlier, does anybody have any, I take it there's no disputes over the accuracy of the data that's been presented? Is that correct?
The analysis of the aquifer, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Mike, I had a quick question for you.
Yeah.
You showed the groundwater map of the shallow aquifer. Do you
Yes.
have a similar map for that middle aquifer?
I don't tonight, but that's one thing that's looked at on the conceptual side.
It is looked at. We have enough monitoring data to.
It's much sparser for sure, but
Mhm.
there is one consideration. And in fact, Nick estimated a gradient off of wells completed in that middle portion of the aquifer. So there's, how many wells would you say are in the gravel zone?
There's, I would have to go with 9 wells in the gravel zone. The one problem that I have with the gravel wells.
What? We can't hear you, Dave.
The one problem I have with the gravel wells is that they're all kind of completed in a line along the Metro Storm Drain. And so to show potential, you need to have a southern and northern wells just to be able to show potential. I just don't know that you have that.
What's the
On
big
GS9.
Did we put 4 more wells in at yours and EPA's request?
You did, but they're in the same line.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's along
I
that
mean,
axis.
they're on the same line on axis, so you, in order to create groundwater potential, you need to have 3 points. And you need to have that 7th point in order to show which way your potential is pointing. And so we have a, where's the metro storm drain here?
Yeah, there you go.
Right there. And so you have the metro storm drain kind of coming through like this, and you have a line of those wells completed along this line right here. There are no wells to the south or to the north in order to show in that aquifer. And that's one of the data gaps that I believe exists.
So with the data that you have, you don't really see, like you do in the shallow aquifer, see the capture from the MSD?
With the MSD, you have a very similar, groundwater gradient. We don't have that map up anymore, but the groundwater contour lines around the subdrains, I know it's pretty nice. One thing that we have seen is that when we did the pumping test, we were able to reduce the flows in the subdrain.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our optimization tests, when we pump as far down as Pond Street, we're able to influence groundwater up in the pumping well, basically, at a specific extent. And many other items that indicate that we're getting a good portion of this, if not all, of the middle portion of the aquifer.
And Trey had mentioned that they calculated about 100 gallons a minute was coming of the stuff going to LEO was coming from the Parrot. Do you know how much of that is from the shallow aquifer versus the middle aquifer?
That's a really good question. That's one of the things we looked at in the conceptual site model, and I couldn't recall the numbers.
And I guess if I may follow up on that, if a fingerprint analysis hasn't been yet completed by the Bureau, how can we quantify it's 100 gallons per minute, or sorry, the 100 gallon number from Parrot exactly?
Oh, that's a good question. There's the fingerprint analysis, which really doesn't look at the quantity of flow. It more looks at the origination of the in the conceptual site model, we've estimated, using information from the pumping test, how much water is going through that corridor, their tailings. So you have the Parrot tailings roughly in this area with groundwater flow in this direction. Trey was saying about 100 gallons per minute flowing.
That's in the MSD.
They're talking about in the MSD.
The MSD.
Yeah, and within the MSD, we hit about 100